everyone, in our 6th episode of our guide series we will talk about Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit is literally a force of nature, the wild power of wind and weather bottled in a human form. And the boisterous, jovious, irrepressible form it is. As jolly as a favorite uncle, he injects every scene with crackling energy. But it was not always thus, and there was tragedy in his creation. Generations ago, in the plains beyond the Wailing Mountains, a good people lay starving in drought and famine. A simple elementalist, Thunderkeg by name, used a forbidden spell to summon the spirit of the storm, asking for rain. Enraged at this mortal's presumption, the storm celestial known as Raging lay waste to the land, scouring it bare with winds and flood. Thunderkeg was no match for the Celestial, at least until he cast a suicidal spell that forged their fates into one. He captured the Celestial in the cage of his own body. Trapped together, Thunderkeg's boundless good humor fused with Raging's crazed energy, creating the jovial Raging Thunderkeg, a Celestial who walks the world in physical form. Storm Spirit is quite popular in the professional Dota scene. He's banned or picked quite often lately. Among advantages with this hero is his mid-game presence with his aggressive initiations, and his late-game potential is quite strong as well. He has 5 armor at level 1 and a decent damage for a ranged hero, so you can trade hits with your opponent quite effectively. But he is not very mobile until level 6. He has no escape abilities, so before he skills that ultimate, it's quite easy to gank him. With level 6, he can easily chase an opponent and also escape from them. His first skill is called Static Remnant. Storm creates an explosively charged image of Storm Spirit that lasts 12 seconds and will detonate and deal damage if an enemy unit comes near it. Remnants have flying vision and can see over cliffs and trees. They hit invisible units as well. His second ability is called Electric Vortex, a vortex that pulls an enemy unit to Storm Spirit's location, and it also slows down the Storm Spirit by 50% for 3 seconds. The target is disabled and cannot cast any spells or attack. Level 3 Electric Vortex pulls the target close enough to trigger Static Remnant. Storm's third ability is called Overload. Casting a spell creates an electric charge, which is released in the burst of his next attack, dealing damage and slowing nearby enemies' move speed by 80% and attack speed by 50%. It's a passive ability. Overload stays if you miss your attack. Bow Lightning is Storm's ultimate ability. Storm Spirit becomes volatile electricity, charging across the battlefield until he depletes his mana or reaches his target. The mana activation cost is 15 plus 7% of his total mana pool, and the cost per 100 units traveled is 10 plus 1% of his total mana pool. Damage is expressed in damage per 100 units traveled. The main goal of this skill is to chase an opponent or escape while dealing damage with your other skills and items. Most often Storm is played as a mid hero or an easy lane hero. He is rarely picked for other lanes. Let's take a look at the Storm played by Dendi. It's Navi versus DK at MLG Columbus. Let's start with the skill build. It's a Static Remnant at level 1, Overload at level 2, Electric Vortex from level 3 to level 5, then Ultimate, Overload from level 7 to level 9, Static Remnant, Ultimate, Static Remnant at level 12 and 13, Electric Vortex, Attribute Bonus, Ultimate, and the rest is attribute bonuses as usual.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
His starting item build is a Healing Salve, no Talisman, and 2 Tangos shared by his teammates. Then Bottle, Boots of Speed, Magic Wand, Robe of Magi into Power Treads, Oblivion Staff, Orchid, Ogre Club into a BKB, Voidstone into a Lincoln Sphere, and then Scythe of Vice. Very farm Storm Spirit. The items usually vary depending on the in-game situation and the opponents, but then they consider these items as the most effective ones. As for the skill build, 3 points into the Electric Vortex early on suggests that Dendi will play aggressively, initiating a lot and possibly getting killed solo, and the longer the disable is, the better. Dendi bought Orchid as his first major item. This is a very useful item that gives you quite a lot of damage, good mana regen, and of course an ability to silence an opponent from a big range. There is no cast animation, the silence is used immediately, so this makes Storm a big threat for the opponents. As for the Lincoln Sphere, this is a very situational item. This item gives a good mana and HP regen, and now you can use it on your teammates. Dendi used it to give his carry extra survivability. As for the Scythe of Ice, it is usually purchased after the BKB, but this game Dendi bought it only after he bought Lincoln Sphere. But here Lincoln's was bought to help a teammate. Buying a Lincoln's after the BKB is not always a smart choice, it all depends on the picks of the opponent. Anyways, Dendi had to farm because this was a turtling game. Storm has good skills to farm quickly and raise his gold per minute, and if there is a fight, Storm Spirit is a definitely type of hero to take part in it, with all the farm that he had. Let's take a look at the Storm Spirit at the easy lane, played by qojqva. This is Speed Gaming versus Liquid. His skill build is Static Remnant, Overload level 2 and 3, Electric Vortex at level 4 and 5, Ultimate, Overload, Electric Vortex, Overload, Static Remnant, Ultimate, Static Remnant at level 12 and 13, Electric Vortex at level 14, Attribute Bonus, Ultimate, and the rest is Attribute Bonuses. His item build is a Healing Cell, Ironwood Branch, Tangle, and one Tangle was shared by a teammate, Boots of Speed, Bottle, Power Threads, Magic Wand, Orchid, Bloodstone, Mithril Hammer, Ogre Club. Never finished into a BKB because the game ended before that. Let's talk about his item build and skill build. He was maxing in Overload. Overall, Storm Spirit usually gets levels quickly, and the skill build doesn't affect the game too much. He'll have all his abilities maxed out at level 16. Let's concentrate on his item build. The Orchid and Bloodstone. These two items combined make Storm a very potent hero. Both items give very good mana regen. In fact, qojqva can zip around the map initiating, juking, chasing, escaping as much as he wants. But the lack of the BKB was a big problem. He tried to farm it but never completed it. Therefore, it was easy to disable him with silence or stuns, and then Storm becomes a very vulnerable hero. On the one hand, you have enough mana regen to fly around the map. On the other hand, you're easy to disable and therefore lock down, which negates all of your zip zapping. What else can be added? I think mid lane Storm has more chances to win compared to an easy lane Storm. After all, this is a hero that needs to roam and gank. Don't make him your primary carry. Storm is the type of hero to initiate, disable, chase and escape, but not a carry who can deal the maximum possible DPS. This is it guys, thank you, I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to our channel, play Dota 2, and see you in the next videos.